Hey guys, so this week we're going to pick up where we left off last week on the driver's side floor. Now, last week we went from the front all the way back to the shifter and a little past, but this week we're going to jump at the back and work back around. The reason we're doing this is because panels have to lay certain ways. Just like we looked at last week, you got to figure out what needs to overlap what to make it look clean. So, it's a weird pattern we have to do in the back, same thing we did on the passenger side, and work our way forward. Okay, I've got the piece pinned in place. Now, what I did on this side was I made the flange extra long, put it in place, traced out the actual double curve of the body, and then trimmed it a little over. So what's going on here is the floor is tying into the body. Now the framework I have is fitting here, but there's about a 1/4 inch gap here. So this panel of the flange actually has to tilt out to match it. So what we're gonna do is go along, pull it, stitch weld it, pull it, stitch weld it, grind any excess, and we're gonna go through this until this panel marries up to this curve evenly. All right, that piece is completely welded, ground down, ready to go. Now, you gotta be really careful with welding sheet metal, especially when you got one piece on a knife edge like that and a flat piece coming in, old metal, new metal, it can be a real pain. Now, what I do is turn my welder down, crank my wire feed up just a hair, so that when I hit it, it welds, but it penetrates, but it builds on top. Because if you're to blow through on that knife edge, now you've created like a tooth. And you gotta try to go back and try to fill it and grind this side and that side. It can be a real pain. So take your time with it, jump around, spread your heat, and I just give it a little extra wire feed. It helps me. So what if I gotta grind it? Oh well, I'd rather grind it than blow through. So, all right, now we're gonna get moving on the next piece, start getting these other panels in. So last week somebody asked me what this was, and what it is actually a hole punch for metal. There's all different size dies that cut different holes, but I've got an 1/8 inch die in here because I'm using 1/8 inch rivets. So just makes everything quicker and easier on me. I don't have to sit there and drill a million holes. I can just pop them through with this. All right, now that the sides are sheeted, we're gonna work on the floor. Now it's gonna have to be done in a bunch of little pieces and taped together, because no way you're gonna sit and make all the cuts right the first time. So it's better to make different squares, slot them in, mock them up, tape them together. That's your template. Hey, quick tip. You need to oil your pneumatic air tools. I don't care how cheap your tools are, you still should oil it. It's going to help it in the long run and make it last even longer. Now this bottle of oil I've had for way too long, probably 10-15 years. It doesn't take but a couple drops and you're good to go. Even if it's a cheap tool, keep it going. Alright? Remember to oil them. Hey guys, well that's a good spot to stop for the week. Now, we got all the sides, a little bit of the bottom floor done. Now next week we've got to make the brake pedal, figure out what I'm going to do for the gas pedal, and make that piece on the floor. But what's interesting is the brake and the gas are probably going to come up through the floor. So we've got to find a way to seal it out from the road. Got a couple of ideas, I'll think it through this week. Now, zip tie drags. January 17th, so we are like 21 days out. So I'll probably get one more video on the 37, then we're gonna have to do some on the Love. I gotta get it ready for the event this year. So there'll be a little change up on cars for 2 weeks or so, but then we'll be back on the 37. So, all right guys, well, I hope something in this video helped you on your builds. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.